Thank you. We got them on the speakerphone, so it's kind of hard to hear if they dialed in. So, hello. I'll go ahead and start introducing everybody to the table. My name is Kevin Ingledew. I'm the property manager for Resort Group. We have Diane Stelferi, is the president of the Laguna Lakes Community Association. We have Ellen Young, who's the treasurer for the Laguna Lakes Community Association. We have Andy Provost, who works at the resort as their general counsel. Thanks everybody for coming. This is a big turnout. This is the first meeting we've had with Resort Group as well as the board. So I've heard stories how the meetings went in the past, and we want you to give you the opportunity to speak. But we ask that you let the board conduct their board meeting in its entirety, and on the end we put a place on there that you can speak about items on the agenda. That way we can as we can get through our business that the board needs to get through and have an effective meeting and not waste everybody's time here for 3.5 hours.
You get to talk after you vote.
You'll get to talk
After you vote.
That's what's the board meeting.
At the end of the meeting, you'll get a chance to have your comments.
Yeah, you'll be able to make
I
comments.
thought it was more normal to do the 3 minutes after each agenda item.
Okay, yeah, that's how it normally works in most associations.
That's not what Joe Adams says when you take his
Okay,
course.
well, here's our turn. I'm not going to get into it. We're trying to have a productive meeting. It's not a members meeting. All right, I have Allie and Ron on the phone. Sharon to be absent. So we do have a quorum of 4 out of 5. So at this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order and turn it over to Diane Stelferi, President.
Yes, right now, I'd like to accept a motion to adopt the amended meeting minutes from the May 9th meeting. Do I have a second? Yeah, the minutes, yeah.
We have a motion on the
To
floor.
adopt the May 9th meeting minutes, I said, I'm asking for a motion. Okay, so do I have a second motion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, we've approved the minutes. Okay, at this point, what I'm going to do is just talk just for a few minutes just about a couple of things. I'm in the process of drafting a president's letter. It is forthcoming to all the residents. It will be sent to you in the mail, and it will also be sent to you on an email blast, as we've been consistently doing to keep you all in the know and communicate to you as we've had things come up. The one thing that we've stumbled across is that we've got several residents here that the management office may not, for some reason, have their correct or updated email. We've heard from some people that have said, I'm not getting emails, so we've rectified some of them, but you might want to cross-reference with Casey and just make sure that we've got your proper email and your phone numbers and both addresses if you live here part-time and you live elsewhere the other portion of the year. So if you could please make sure to get in touch with them if you're skeptical that maybe they don't have the right information, we'd appreciate it. One of the things in the letter that is forthcoming, as you all know, we've had some activities throughout the community happening in relation to some vandals, and the board and I have, gone back and forth on some of it. We've just layered in some additional security into the community, and we just want to make sure that we have a safe community here morning, noon, and night. But I do have to say, it's not just our job and it's not just a security company's job to help here. I need all the parcel members, parcel board members to come together, and thinking of maybe forming a committee with each parcel so that we would be able to meet and talk about some of the issues that are going on in the community and throughout the parcel. And lastly, in relation to that is where some of the parents come in. We've got children that are 8 and 9 years old on video that have been at the pool throwing things in the pool at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. Where is it that we have kids, that parents allow their kids to do that? Of course, it's not my responsibility what time people allow their parents in or out of, but this is a community, and we just don't go for that. And it's not fair to your neighbor or all the other fellow residents to to allow anyone's children to be out there vandalizing the community in any way, whether it's throwing in the pool, whether it's egging, whatever the case may be, speeding, etc. So if anybody knows of anybody that has been involved in any of this vandalism, please call Kevin or Casey or myself and let us know. And I will tell you that Casey is able to pull up on video closer to the end of the meeting. She has some video footage of 3 young, very young children at the pool at 1 o'clock, 1:30, and I think by the time they threw the stuff in the pool, it was 1:35 in the morning. We just don't know who they are. So if any of you are able to decipher possibly who they are, the majority of the time they're faced backwards, they're not facing the cameras. But if anybody's able to or would be willing to go in and look at it, and might be able to figure out who it is in there, then we'd appreciate it.
Diane, would you explain what our security protocol is?
Okay, questions are at the end, Bob.
No questions during this?
Questions are at the end, Bob.
I see. In other words, we'll all be quiet during the whole meeting, not be letting us-
Just like we used to be when you were on the board, yes. Okay, this is the board meeting for the board right now. Bob, either quiet or leave, one or the other.
Bob, you shouldn't leave.
Right.
Okay,
Just have a meeting.
if we can't get through this meeting, we're going to adjourn it. So it's either one way or the other.
We don't get nothing done anyway. It's
Okay?
different.
Yeah, okay. Well, then you tell everybody to calm down and let me talk and get through the
Your
meeting.
board meeting.
Okay? We have a lot of things on the agenda coming up, especially in the fall as residents come back, as far as some of the social things that I'm looking into with the board and want to involve the board in deciding if we want to go forward with these, but some of them are a back to Laguna pool party that we would have outside in September, early October. We'd like to also look at possibly the board conducting a kids Halloween party and possibly a doggy Halloween party. In November, some type of a Thanksgiving social, maybe in the afternoon. I'm not talking a dinner, but some kind of a Thanksgiving social. And then possibly a December, a full-blown December holiday party here. So those are some of the things that we're looking at on the agenda, and the board will work together to figure out which direction we're going on with all of them. And like I said, you will be receiving a president's letter. It'll be forthcoming, spelling out a lot of items and just useful information. So please look for it in the next 10 days at the latest. And that's all I have for now. Okay?
Treasurer, do you have a report?
Yeah, I do have
Okay.
a couple of things to say. You
Sure.
know, I'm reading this over here, and the treasurer's report will be presented at the next board meeting. First month of resort financial reports are being reviewed after information received from Alliant on July 18th. I wish that was not there, because then I didn't have to do what I'm going to do. Okay? When I kept hearing reports that Alliant was not helpful in transferring the documents from their office to the new management company, I reached out and I got a complete schedule of activities that was signed for and documented by the Alliant office. And I have a copy of this. So here's your copy, and here's one for Kevin. Okay? So I really think it is about time that we stop pointing finger at Alliant. I will tell you that I have worked with Alliant for over 10 years, and now no disrespect to the new management companies. I just don't appreciate people continuing to talk other businesses down. It's bad for business, it's bad for everybody.
To clarify, on the original agenda, I didn't put any specific dates in
Well,
there.
over here there is a date, and when I saw July 18th, I will tell you, my blood pressure
We
went
got
through
some
the roof.
final information, but I didn't say anybody's name
Okay,
on the board.
well, I just wanted to clear it up, so let's drop this line finger pointing and be done with it. Okay, now the other thing that I wanted to bring up is, we were on the phone about this particular individual. You may want to take this down. And he was the resident. I don't want to go into names or addresses. Yes, we need to follow up with that with the Alliance Collections Company. Now, usually they have a contact person on their transmitter, but this one does not. you did get all the data, right? Do you have somebody that takes
I do.
care
Yep,
of those
yep.
particular things?
Yep.
Okay. We need to make sure that we get our money. What
Yep.
he did in Beverly Hills, he apparently, once he was filed with a notice of foreclosure, he decided there was a smart way to just make sure that he would pay his past dues. And they worked out a deal with him. So he's paying a certain dollar amount per month, and then if he misses any of them, it will go straight into foreclosure and he will lose his house. And I want similar payment schedule for the LLCA. I'm surprised we didn't receive any information, but that may have been because of the moving and the transfer.
I did get something from them last week, but I don't remember the exact address.
Okay,
so I'll
well,
get it back.
this is it, because he already made a deal with
Somebody offered.
We're not going to settle, he pays the full amount.
No, I
I'm not going to
understand. Maybe
settle.
the payment plan similar to what you're talking
Right.
about. I don't know if it's the same unit that you start to investigate.
Okay.
Like we talked about earlier.
Because this guy
Yep.
cost us a lot of money, because
Right.
he used to, not after turn him over to a lion, but before that, the attorneys were involved.
Right.
And it cost us a lot of attorney fees,
Right.
and I'm not going to settle with him. That's my opinion. If the rest of the board want to settle, they can vote on it. Okay, then, what else do I have? Okay, the reason why I cannot give a dollar amount what we have in spend is simply because not all expenses have been posted to the accounts, including management fees. Have you not been paid?
In July.
Yes, so that would
And attorney fees?
Yeah, we got some of the bills later because they went to a different address during the transition. That was some of the information that didn't get the financials because we work on a cash basis, like I was explaining to you the other day.
Yeah, that
Not on-
bothers me.
Not an accrual, so
Yeah, that cash
that way you
basis
see
really
what actually
bothers me.
that you paid. So cutting off on June 30th for June, some of the bills didn't come in until later in July. So that's
So
why.
when did you?
Correct.
So you don't,
What your cash spend is your cash
Yeah.
spend of money. So your first month, it'll all be adjusted on the year-to-date.
so all this,
Were there zeros?
0,
Means nothing.
on-site admin assistant, bad debt expense, that's a fixed amount. That's not, so that's not posted. Management services, accounting, electricity. I know one of the bills went to Alliant and they faxed it to you.
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Yep, they've been great at that.
Trash removal, recycling, that's a set amount.
Mhm.
But because you didn't get the bill, you didn't post it, so it's not.
By June 30th, we keep it open another few days. But and to your point about not paying ourselves, we got an initial check of $50,000, correct? So we made sure that all the utilities and the water and everything was paid up until we got a handle on where the cash was before paying ourselves.
Okay. All right, well, the cash basis really bothers me. I'm not happy with cash basis. I find it not very clear. In fact, I can't remember when I worked on a cash basis. I've always worked on through. The other thing that I have, one of our CDs is maturing.
Yes.
The board needs to make a decision what they're going to do with it. It's in the amount of, let me have a look here, $122,760.91 at Valley National Bank. It will mature on 8/12/16. That's not very far from now. So, do you shop around to get the best interest?
We can. yes.
Right.
Yep.
Our financial method does that, because they deal with all of our accounts, so they will shop around and find the best rate.
Okay. 60 months is a long term. That's 5 years, right? On that way? Personally, I think that's too long, but that's typically when you get the highest rates. The longer you lock it in, the higher rates you get. But there's also a penalty when you withdraw early, so then you lose everything you've accumulated, right?
Yes. Well, not everything, so there can be penalties for it. Depends on what the rate, what the structure is.
Okay. I think we should have some ideas before we make a decision. What is the best? Right.
Yeah. Right.
We got some, we've seen some good luck recently with Bank United and Everbank, doing a 12-month at a little bit higher rate. Sometimes you can go back to who that bank is and renegotiate a higher rate before you pull your money
Right.
for a shorter term.
Right.
We've seen that happen too, so
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and do that investigation. Yeah, I have a copy.
It's 812.
Okay.
We received it today.
You've got a copy too. I just looked at my email. And it matures, and it is quite a sum. Well, because the reserves, we don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in
Right.
reserves because we a lot of that money. So we can get some feel of getting
What terms would you like to look at? 2 years, 1 year?
I 2 or 3 years, but that's not up to me. The rest of the boards need to.
But I just want to make sure we get out.
out.
Under 3 years, to 1, 2, and 3.
But, don't get it at a half a penny or something.
No.
Get something
We
substantial.
go research, I've seen, like I said, we go out and research and then we make a decision. Typically,
Realistic by the end of that week.
by next Friday.
By next Friday. Somebody stop.
Ron? Okay, by next Friday. I can't hear you, what? Okay,
So,
next Friday, what did you say?
so I don't have really a set dollar amount that I can tell you that I feel comfortable with, so, actually I'm gonna pull the May financials. I'm gonna compare them to, what I have here. I did get, the trial balance. There's one more thing that I would like to have.
Sure.
The chart of accounts.
Okay.
Complete chart of accounts,
Okay.
so that I can keep. So I think,
So by the 5th then? By next Friday?
yeah, we have to make
Yeah,
a
because that
decision.
still gives us a week to
Yeah, get you.
finalize.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe that's it. I don't have any solid numbers.
Okay, the next item, we have old business. There's 7 items on there. Has everybody read through those items that were presented to you in your board packet?
Yes, we have.
Does anyone have any questions or discussion on those items?
I don't. No.
Well, I have a comment to make. I'm not used to giving a script, okay? I'm not used to being told what to say and what to motion for and to be told what to do. My mother had problems with me when I was growing up. So I will just vote the way that I feel comfortable, what I believe in. I can't vote anywhere else, but I'm not going to recite a script or make motions because I'm being instructed to make a motion. I'm not going to do that.
Ellen, has somebody told you to do that?
Not to make the motion, no, not to second or anything, motions.
But she's been told what to do and how to do it, what to say?
They just give example script of some people do it, which they're not motion. So,
You gave her a script?
okay, we're not talking. Go ahead. Do you have any questions on the 7 items?
I'm
Did you guys
fine.
catch that?
I have made my own notes, so I feel comfortable that
Do we have a motion on the floor to approve the unfinished business?
I motion to approve the unfinished business.
Do we have a second?
my
Ron?
He says.
All in favor? Any discussion?
what are the unfinished businesses?
This is where we switched the attorney.
Okay.
We had to repair, we switched the tennis court contract to a new contractor within the same budget. We had to replace the gate system computer when it broke.
Whoa, wait a minute. Are we approving the tennis court contract right now?
Change in vendor.
We changed the vendor.
I know, but where's his contract and where's his license and where's his insurance?
That was sent out a while ago.
Yeah.
I didn't get
That
that.
was,
2 months
yeah, it was
ago.
done right before we started.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't get it, and I know one of Ron's emails ended up in my spam. So I may have to look at my spam.
I'll get it to you.
To see, yeah, could you please
No
get that to
problem.
me?
We do that before we execute
Okay, well,
anything.
I don't know what I'm voting on, so I'm going to say no until I read the comments.
We're not voting.
Motion.
We're motioning.
at a time.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Well, let's read a
All in
motion for the
favor?
first one. Let's go one through
Individually,
seven.
second.
Let's do individually one through seven.
Okay, Andy says that we